Good, we're live back here. This is the Poomsae Grand Slam Final. This is session number 1, and we had 2 national team spots honored here this morning, but we're gonna move on. This up next is the male 66 plus division. This is individual, this is our traditional format, followed by the 66 plus female division. We'll finish off this session with the 31 plus male team and the 31 plus female team. So we're so glad you guys here in the audience have joined us here at the Poomsae Grand Slam Final. We're glad you're logged on. We're gonna be here for the next 3 days. So again, chopping it up, Jason Poo's here with you. I'm gonna be live online with my partners throughout the day. Poomsae experts coming in to join me. So you're gonna get some analysis from some of our Poomsae national team members and of course our national team coach, Dan Chuang. So stay with us here. This is the Poomsae Grand Slam Final. We're at the National Center of Excellence here in Colorado Springs. Don't go anywhere.
First out for the division, Chi Duong.
Good. This is the men's over 65 or 66 and over is what we like to say. This is the male division, and they are looking for a spot as well on our national team that will compete in herding Denmark. I'm Jason Poos. I will be joined by different coaches, competitors, staff members here at USA Taekwondo. We're here at the National Center of Excellence, and this is Chi Duong. His Taekwondo school is Chi Kwan. He's coached by himself. He won a silver medal at the World Cup, if I'm not mistaken, or World Championships. He hasn't really given us the exact competition, so I'm going to say it's the World Championships because the World Cup's a pretty new competition in 2014, 2016, and 2018. So clearly a ton of international experience for Mr. Duong. As he's been on our national team, you can't go to World Championships if you're not on a national team. He's from Carson, Nevada. He's 69 years of age. And Mr. Duong, it will be one round of competition here, so we will not know the scores. This is the first of 4 rounds, from what we're told. So we will get to see the score after the first round. Up next, we're going to have Jang Hee Pak. He'll be coming up soon, followed by Chauncey Reed, James Harp, Mitchell Dillard, and finally Ken Thorpe.
Next up, Jang Hee Pak.
Jang Hee Pak is 68 years of age from Austin, Texas. He's from UMAEC. We're going to take a short pause here as one of the referees' scoring boxes was not working properly. Again, no recent Taekwondo accomplishments for Jingyi Pak here. Everything working out well now. So Jingyi Pak up. On deck will be Chauncey Reed from Reed's Martial Arts Academy. So his own club, it looks like. And again, at 68 years of age with Master Park here, Jingyi Pak. And of course, the fact that most of these athletes are obviously going to be high-level instructors. They probably have, a lot of them are going to have their own clubs here at USA Taekwondo. They're out here competing for a spot like everyone else for our World Championships team. So Jingyi Pak with his first round. Up next will be Chauncey Reed from Reed's Martial Art. Doesn't give us a hometown, so we don't know, but I will give you some particulars of Chauncey Reed. He's a U.S. national champion in 2018. He won a bronze medal at the U.S. Open in 2018, and he's an 8th Dan Cookie-Wan certified black belt. He likes to travel and race, kind of race car driving in his spare time.
Up next, Chauncey Reed.
Again, Chauncey Reed, 67 years of age. We talked about his accomplishments as he was our U.S. national champion in 2018, and he likes to race cars in his spare time and travel. He's from Reed's Martial Arts Academy, which is probably his own personal club or his family's club. And again, each athlete the first round will perform the same Poomsae. That's how these work, so you'll see it over and over again. Easy for the judges to kind of pick out who has the best technique. They're looking for specific things. They have standards that they are looking for. So Chauncey Reed just competed. Throughout, in the middle of his form, he forgot a little part, so they let him start all over, but there's going to be obviously some deductions that go with that. We hope to have Coach Jan Chuang, our national team coach for Poomsae, come in, and he's going to give you a lot more insight than what myself and one of my partners, Danielle Swigard, sitting next to me. We can't give you quite the information.
Next out, James Harp.
So James Harp, we're going to call him Jim Harp because that's what he put on his sheet. Jim Harp's from the Academy of Martial Arts, coached by Barbara Brand. He's 74 years of age, from Polk City, Iowa, and he has a PhD. He was on the national team in 2017. He made the Pan Am team in 2018 and finished off 2017 with a national championship as well. He likes to read and exercise in his spare time. Up next, Jim Harp. Jim Harp finishing his Poomsae. This is round 1 of the 66 and over division. We call it over 65 black belt here on our sheets, but just know that we're going to follow it with the 66 plus female individual competition. So that's coming up right after this. On deck here, we're going to have Mitchell T. Dillard. We're going to say Mitchell Ted Dillard. He's from Chung's Taekwondo.
Next out, Mitchell Dillard.
So he's been called. So Mitchell Dillard will come to the mat. He's from Chung's Taekwondo, coached by GM, that's Grandmaster Park. He's from Richardson, Texas. His school is UTD. He is a bronze medalist at the national championships. Texas State, he won a silver medal, and he's a 5th dan pending with the Kuki One certification program. He likes to work out at 24-hour fitness in his spare time. He does some church ministry, which is impressive, and of course he recruits. So this is Mitchell Ted Dillard out doing his competition right now. This is round 1. 4 rounds of competition here today. We have one more competitor there, so there's 6 competitors here in the 66 plus male individual. Last competitor will be Ken Thorpe.
Ready? 9 to 6. Shoot me! Shoot me! Shoot!
Mitchell Dillard finishing up his round 1 Poomsae. Up next, last and final competitor of round 1 will be Ken Thorpe. He'll be called momentarily.
And next up, Ken Thorpe.
Ken Thorpe entering the arena. Ken Thorpe is from Chung's Taekwondo. He's the Poomsae home coach, and his home coach is James Park. He's from Dallas, Texas. He won the Texas State Championships, won 2nd at last year's 2019 USA Taekwondo Nationals. He's a 7th dan Cookie Wine certified black belt, and he screenwrites, so he's a screenwriter in his spare time. Impressive. So Ken Thorpe out doing his first round Poomsae. Again, the 66 and over, or 66 plus, we like to say, male individual competition going on here. This is round 1 of 4. So each competitor will be coming back to show you a different Poomsae on the next round. We're going to be joined second round by our head coach of our Poomsae national team, Coach Dan Chuang. So excited to have him here in the booth with me. Give you some expert analysis on the athletes and their competition. And well done by Ken Thorpe. So there'll be a short timeout as they will restructure the draw, if you will, of how they're going to go in the next competition. So that means each person may not go in the same order. And again, we're going to bring in for our second round of the 66 plus male division, we're going to bring in Coach Dan Chuang momentarily. So he's going to give you some particulars on the athletes as well as the competition format of what you're going to see, not just today, but over the next 3 days here at the Poomsae Grand Slam Final here at the National Center of Excellence in Colorado Springs. So let's take a quick timeout, come back with myself and Poomsae Coach Dan Chuang here at our Poomsae Grand Slam Final.
First up in the women's over 65 individual division, Erica Lindhorst.
Erica Lindhorst up first here in the 66 plus kilogram category. And I'm going to bring in Coach Dan Chuang. He's our national team coach. So, Coach, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Here this morning. So, Coach Chuang here. I'm going to give you the particulars that Erica gave us. She's coached by Grandmaster David Turgeon. She's from Mount Vernon, New York, where she's 72 years of age. That's impressive. She won a world championship silver medalist in 2014. She was the world champion in 2016. That's amazing. And in 2018, she won the silver medalist. Looks like she's won worlds. She's medaled 3 times at worlds. Is that correct, Dan?
That's correct. She's our 2016 world champion in a dramatic finish against Russia over there in Peru. It was one of the most dramatic matchups we had that entire championship. And to see that happen in the over 65 division is just really inspiring. And she's 72, so she's not on the lower side of that age division. And she's still really competitive with these folks. And one thing I really like about Master Lindhorst's technique is that she's very patient and she's very grounded, and to really be able to stay that low to the ground at that age is really something. And Pyongwon has got to be the toughest form for those older divisions because there's so much side kicking and leg and return side kick. So she just had a very good one. Very impressive.
Yeah, and obviously an elite competitor. She's been multiple times U.S. Open and national champion, as well as a Pan Am champion. She likes to compete in tennis as well at the national level, and she writes for the TKD Times, so that's pretty impressive.
Very involved in the community.
Yeah, clearly a lot of experience here. It's a 3-time world championship medalist. But I thought what you brought up was an interesting point. Pyongwon is a pretty short form, but it's like you said, a lot of kicking and turning. And what I mean by that is that you call the turn side kick, right, that they do there.
That's right.
So it's very difficult to do, for any age. And again, she does it with no problem at all.
Yeah, if you ask most competitors, what their most challenging form is, I think Pyongwon would have to be at the top of the list. Yeah, for those senior 1 and up divisions that do that form.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Up next, Tweety Nguyen.
So this is actually a really interesting matchup, but go ahead.
Yeah, you hear Tweety Nguyen coming in now, so she's been announced by her announcer. So she's from Parks Taekwondo, coached by James Park. Today she's coached by Ray Key, and I hope I pronounced that right. If I mess him up, you can fix me. Coach Strong knows everybody here. Tweety is 66 years of age from Dallas, Texas. She attended Brookhaven College, and she has a fashion marketing degree. She graduated with that in 2010. That's impressive. She also won a national championship in 2019. She was on that World Cup team in Wuxi, China, and maybe you could talk a little bit about that. In the President's Cup, she competed in Vegas in 2019 as well, and she likes fashion, shopping, and traveling.
Right, yeah, this is a really interesting matchup because Tweety did win over Erica at the 2019 championship. So although Erica has all that experience, Tweety was able to outpoint her at that event. So we're going to see a really close event here. 2 very well-schooled competitors who understand the standards well, and who are both really solid athletes. So, and yes, she was on the World Cup team that traveled to Wuxi. That was a kind of the first time that World Taekwondo has ever held that World Cup event for Poomsae, and it was for all divisions. So she has that world stage experience as well.
Yeah, I've known Tweety Nguyen for a long time as a referee, and just me living in the area near her, I don't think she ages. I just don't think she ages at all.
She looks great.
Yeah, she looks great for age. You brought up an interesting point. Erica Lindhorst at 72, Tweety Nguyen at 66. That's a big age difference here, and so
it is.
It may be, obviously she's improved to be able to take out maybe the national or the world champion, I should say, in Erica Lindhorst. So we'll see here. They're also going to tell us how many rounds these athletes are going to do here as well.
So all the athletes in the men's and women's divisions will do 4 rounds, and the 4 out of the 8 Poomsae will be have been selected randomly. That's a really close matchup. There are no obvious mistakes from either competitor, so I think this is really going to go down to the wire between Tweety and Erica. But the player, generally speaking, who has the highest total points among all 4 forms will be the national team member, unless there is a tiebreaker, unless one of the players has placed higher on seeding. Oh, you'll see Tweety just
Wow.
barely at point.
Just, you called it. You said that was super close, and you've been dead on. I mean, just
700.
Wow, 700ths of a point there.
About as close as it can get. Yep.
But would this be considered a mild upset if Tweety Wynn pulls this off here today?
I think so. I think so. With Erica's experience level and, you know, those 3 world medals under her belt, you know, I think this would be. Tweety has competed in the past and has not finished first at the trials before. So yeah, this would be an upset.
Yeah, interesting. So we're going to move back to the men's category. So we're going to go back to round number 2 of the men's over 66. I beg your pardon, 66 plus is what we like to say. So it's going to be a random draw here. So, Coach, why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Right. So each round, the order of competitors is re-randomized, and the reason that was inserted into the selection procedures was to help the competitors feel and the referees feel that they could grade each round objectively without necessarily mentally checking the order of competition. For example, the other way you could do it is by ordering them in the order of their finish from the last round. So this way, each time, it really creates a clean slate for the competitors. And then, you know, of course, there is a perceived disadvantage for going first. So there is a stipulation that no competitor will go first more than twice in 2 consecutive rounds. So that's something we do to try to open that playing field, to make sure competitors are not relying on just their past performance to succeed, and make sure they bring it each round.
Yeah, that's the kind of insight that we have from our Poomsae national team coach that you're not going to get from myself and from Coach Nelson when he's here. But we have you covered here, and we're so fortunate to have you in here. We're going to have him try to come in as often as you can. Coach, one, thanks for being here with us for these rounds. But he's also wearing multiple hats here, so we don't expect him to leave his competitors, things like that. But let me give you the second round here. So we have our order of the second round of the men, and up first will be Chauncey Reed, followed by Jang Hee Pak. Third will be James Harp, followed by Chi Duong. Fifth will be Ken Thorpe, and we'll finish with Mitchell Ted Dillard. So quick timeout, come back with the second round of the men's 66 plus division. These are individual forms, and this is the Poomsae Grand Slam final here at the Nano Center of Excellence in Colorado Springs.
First up in round 2, Chauncey Reed.
Again, Chauncey Reed, it looks like he has his own school. It's Reed's Martial Arts Academy. He's 67 years of age. He's actually in 6th place from what I remember seeing that coming into this second round. So he's going to have to make up some points here in the second round. Tell me how hard that is to do. So if you're down by, let's say, 3 full points, is that doable in a competition like this with this level of competitors?
So really, in the cumulative score, it most likely will not be possible for him to obtain first place. However, there is another stipulation in our procedures that we also calculate the first, second, third place by placement. And by that I mean who had the most first places in the division. And that is to prevent one major mistake like Master Reed had in that first round from taking you out of the competition entirely. So if he absolutely aces at least 2 out of his next 4 forms, then he may have a shot of forcing a tiebreaker with the first place cumulative point score.
Okay, excellent. It's good information here by Coach Chuang. So choreo is this next round. So we're going to see this form by each competitor, and each round it'll be a different form. Is that correct, Coach?
That's right. And for the 65 plus competitors, the 4 forms are selected randomly from among choreo through Hansu. First through 8th gong.
The black belt form. So that's impressive. So Chauncey Reed, definitely a better second round for Mr. Reed. So we'll see how his score comes out. We'll see that. Will we see the scores here now individually going up each time, or will we just after each round? You tell us.
That's right. This is the first time. It was news to me, but they are following the latest World Taekwondo guidance, which is that they will not show the scores each round until after the round of competition is complete, and that is to prevent the judges my understanding is to prevent the judges from being unduly influenced by the scores from the previous.
Interesting. Yeah, we thought maybe it was going to be possibly.
Up next, Jang Hee Pak.
We thought possibly it could be that the competitors could see how the judges were scoring and whatnot. But, either way, any way to keep it more fair to me seems like the way to do it for any sport.
Right, I actually like it. It was a surprise to me, but as a coach, it really lets us stay more in the moment and just focus on what our competitor is doing. And Master Pak in second place going in, the most likely challenger to
To Chi Duong?
to Chi Duong.
That's good.
Chi Duong, tough competitor, but Jung Hee Pak really showing some good power here, unusual power for Master 4 for the 65 plus division.
Yeah, 68 years of age.
Doesn't look it.
No, he sure doesn't. He sure, like you said, great snap there on the techniques. Probably done this form, I would say, in the thousands, even maybe tens of thousands of times in his career, being a lower level black belt, the first degree black belt form. So a ton of experience with this form for sure.
That's
for
right.
Master Pak.
That's the first black belt form we all look forward to learning.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
As a
do it
colored
over and
belt,
over again.
I knew it before I was a black belt because I'd wanted to do it so bad as a colored belt.
Me too. Me too.
So yeah, so I bet you a lot of people already know it before they get there. Yeah, that's just excellent execution there by Jang Hee Pak.
Next out, James Harp.
So up next, James Harp, again, coached by Barbara Brand, one of our national team members and, AAC member. So she, obviously has a lot of experience as a coach and as a competitor. James Harp, 74, one of the older of these competitors here, has a PhD from Polk City, Iowa. When we talked about his accomplishments in round one, but what do you know a ton about Mr. Harp here?
Yeah, he was on our 2017 Pan Am Championships team. And that was usually on those off years the competitor pool is a little bit less strong than on the World Championships years, but regardless, he's a very experienced competitor. You can see he's very composed on what he's doing, very, very intentional in his movements. I think that with Chi Duong in the mix, on the years that he has competed, he's really been a heavy favorite, so I think he'll have his work cut out for him. He's good knowledge on as a competitor, maybe some physical limitations here on some of the stances. See, he may not quite be locking in his stances as crisply as some of the other competitors.
Sure. And when you're talking about locking, you're talking about the back leg getting locked out?
Right, correct. Yeah, and settling and making sure you have a clean finish on the shoulder. So he'll take some accuracy hits on his score compared to some of the other competitors in this division.
So up next will be Chi Duong, and again, he's the favorite here, if you will, and also he's leading after round one. So at 69 years of age, Chi Duong from Carson, Nevada coming up. So we're looking forward to seeing him again. It looks like he won the silver medal at World Championships in 2014, 16, and 18.
That's right. Yeah, he's always come in second to Korea and some really great showdowns. I think it was one of my favorite showdowns of 2018 in Taipei. They were walking on one after another. The entire stadium just went quiet for them with the competition presence they brought. It was a joy to watch.
Next, Chi Duong.
Yeah, I first met Chi Duong in Indonesia at the 2013 World Championships. I was a coach there for the first time in national team, and we played some mean ping pong at the hotel.
I bet.
he's a very playful, off stage, but when he gets on stage, he's all business.
So you talk about a little bit about his silver medal, and I want to talk about that before we go back to the silver medals. How close is he with this? Has it been the same gold medalist all 14, 16, 18 from Korea that he's lost to?
I believe it was they've been different competitors each time, and he's also transitioned age divisions from
Sure.
61 to 65.
Oh, that's excellent technique right
you can
there.
just see, like, his balance and his relaxation are really outstanding. Maybe Jung-hee Park had a little bit stronger finish, but his overall movement, in my opinion, is just a little more fluid and relaxed, and that's how Poomsae should be.
Yeah, he looks very smooth and obviously great flexibility, if you will, on these kicks.
Right, and his accuracy a little better too. Like, he hit the small hinge position, which is when your hands come to your side during the side kick in choreo. A lot of people miss that one. So I think he's doing a very, very good job. I don't think he'll lose any ground here on this form.
Again, I've probably done it in the thousands, the tens of thousands of times in his lifetime.
That's right. Yeah, he had a school for many, many years, which I believe he's recently stopped teaching, I believe, and maybe teaching a little bit more in smaller groups or more privately. But that's right. He's a really inspirational person. One of the things he mentioned to me in 2013 is he actually had a neurological issue. I believe it was a stroke, and he forgot all of his forms, and he had to relearn them after that stroke, bit by bit, because his brain had to rewire itself after the brain injury, which is just astounding to me.
It is. It's astounding, but he's come back stronger than ever, no question.
He looks pretty good to me.
Yeah, he does. He definitely looks really good there.
Up next, Ken Thorpe.
So we have Ken Thorpe up next from Chung's Taekwondo. He's from Dallas, Texas. He says his Poomsae home coach is Grandmaster James Park. So I'm not familiar with that. It looks like he's going to be 66 now, but he tells us he's going to be 67 in April. So 67 this year, and he likes to screen ride in his spare time. I have seen him out on the mat. I see all these competitors at the national championship, so they look familiar. Had some conversation with him, but he's also a really good referee in the Texas state area. As I live in Oklahoma, so I spend a lot of time at competitions in Texas. And he's just a nice man, and if I'm not mistaken, he's refereed. He may not be doing that anymore, but he has in the past. Good flexibility on that right leg front kick.
Yeah, he's getting up there. Yeah, James Park is actually competing in the 61 to 65 division, so we'll see him as well.
Oh, you'll see his coach. That's exciting.
One of the favorites in that division.
Little balance issue there.
Yep,
correct?
That's correct. He'll have a deduction for that one. Yep. Pretty clean footwork. Maybe just a little bit limited range of motion on his upper body. Could stand a turn just a little bit more.
A little more hip rotation, if you will.
Shoulder hip rotation.
Gotcha.
But very, very nice.
Yeah,
very solid.
clean form for
Side
Ken Thorpe.
Side kick's pretty good.
Yeah, front kicks were great. I know it's probably not all flexibility. They want to see a technical front kick. I'm just impressed with the ability for him at 66, almost 67 years old, to be front kicking, over his head.
Absolutely, and I think one of the great things about Poomsae is you can really push hard to be an elite athlete at any age, right? And these folks are pushing their physical limits and mental limits as athletes, and to make it look effortless takes a lot of work in the gym, as we can see.
Up next, Mitchell Dillard.
You can push yours when you're. Yeah, here we go. We have Mitchell Ted Dillard up next. Again, this is the Poomsae Grand Slam Final. We're here at the National Center of Excellence in Colorado Springs. We appreciate you joining us online. I'm joined by our national team head coach, Dan Chuang. So great to have you here, Coach. And I know as you know all these competitors and you know their strengths and weaknesses, so it's nice to get a little insight on someone who has to see them quite often.
Oh, it's great to be here. So, really nice chances here. Maybe not quite getting full extension on those side kicks. A little hesitation there. This will be some deductions. But I like the look of his stances and his groundedness. That's really nice. Yep, small volume on that. Didn't quite hit the small hinge.
Yeah, I'm looking for that now. Didn't hit it there at all, correct?
Correct. So depending on the referee, that would be either a major or minor deduction.
Gotcha.
And major deduction being a 0.3 off of accuracy, and a minor deduction being 0.1. Depends if they think he missed the move entirely or if he just did it incorrectly.
I see. So this is our 6th competitor. So this is going to finalize round 2. So we're going to get a score update, and then it'll be, if I'm not mistaken, it's going to be random again. Is that correct?
That's right. It'll be random again, except that the person who went first last round will not go first.
Okay.
This next one.
So you can never be randomized, and you have to go first multiple rounds. Is that correct?
Well, you can't go first twice in a row.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it's great information.
These are procedures that were slowly refined as we experimented with this round-robin format and kind of learned the ins and outs of what the competitors liked and what the referees liked, and trying to make it as fair, both perceived fair as well as in actuality fair as possible.
But I mean, obviously, it's all about fairness, and you're right. It has been refined, and it's totally getting refined even more and more. And you talked about even the score changing. They're not showing it after the first round. That's that. I mean, good or bad, they're still refining this process so that you feel like it's fair for the competitors. And at the end of the day, you get the best competitors. So we're going to take a quick timeout. They're going to show the scores. You're going to see them with us. This is the Poomsae Grand Slam Final of 2020, presented by USA Taekwondo here in Colorado Springs at the National Center of Excellence.
First up in round 2 for the women, Tweety Nguyen.
So Tweety Nguyen holding on to a slim lead over Erica Lindhorst here. But I guess the story here is that she's holding on to a lead. And she was, Erica Lindhorst, a world champion, and Tweety Nguyen right now, trying to, I guess, maybe make one of the upsets of the tournament so far.
Could be. Yeah, I think this will really come down to execution. If anyone makes a major error, then that will most likely be the difference. Otherwise, it will just come down to execution and judges' perception.
So they're not doing the same. They're doing Sip-Jin here, so obviously they don't have the same exact forms as the men.
That's right. They have different randomized forms.
In your opinion, where does Sip-Jin rank in the I would like to do that form?
I think Sip-Jin is generally perceived as a pretty safe form.
Okay.
There's no side kicks. There's a lot of slow focus moves, a lot of chances for you to catch your breath. But it is a rhythm form, so there's a lot of contrast between slow and fast. So to make it interesting, you kind of have to do something a little special.
Sure.
So we're coming up on the 3 front kick sequences, the only kicks in the form. There's a jump at the end, a little challenging for older divisions.
Yeah, there it is right there. Handled it well.
She did.
This win.
Yeah. No tips so far. No mistakes. Yep. Solid.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to beat. Erica Lindhorst has her work cut out for her. Talking about the 66-plus female division here in the big divisions, what is 2 competitors a common number? Is it up to, what do you think the number should be? We've had typically 2, 3, 4 maybe.
Well, I'm thrilled with the number of competitors that we had on the men's side. I don't think that we've ever had that number of competitors. I think there's 6 or 7.
Correct.
2 is pretty typical. We usually have 1 to 2 to 3 competitors in 66 plus female. at the national level, I would love to see that also, get up to that 5, 6, 7. And as competitors age into that division who have been competing in the 61 to 65 division, I think we will see more competitors in that division.
Yeah, I hope so.
Up next, Erica Lindhorst.
So yeah, Erica, this is the form that she won world championships on in 2016. She came from behind after the first form to beat Russia in the finals. So memorable. One of the 4 gold medals we earned that year, world championships.
It looks like she won a silver at Worlds in 2018. Was it the Russian that beat her there?
No, I believe it was someone else, but
Okay.
I'd have to go back and look at the records.
I mean, I expect you to know all this off the top of your head, Coach. Again, this Poomsae, a little bit of a pause there.
A little
interesting,
hesitation.
Yeah,
It's not a
interesting.
major, not a major. And if you don't hesitate for more than 3 seconds, there's no deduction for that.
Okay, good. So that's good information. So,
But she may take a small hit on presentation for it.
yeah, great stance there.
You can really see how grounded she is here. So I think that's where Erica shines compared to Tweety. These stances are a little more grounded. She's a little more confident on this form than Pyongwon. But that hesitation is going to hurt her. So we'll see if the judges punish her for it. Yeah, I really like the quality of her movement. It's very, very relaxed but powerful. It's the right kind of power. The whole
Yeah,
body.
72 years of age, too, Coach. I mean, it's just
Very
really
impressive. Yeah.
impressive athlete here.
I think Tweety's front kicks might have been a little higher, so we also may see a little difference in the scoring there.
Yeah, and I mean, it's obviously it's a judge's opinion, but they're all looking for the same thing. So it'll be interesting to see. Sort of stylistically, they're a little different.
That's right.
And so what you talked about, the stances of Erica Lindhorst really stood out to me in that form. And again, a national team member, formerly and maybe currently, I'm not sure, but I know formerly, and David Turgeon out there.
That's right.
Spent a lot of time with David.
One of our national team coaches.
Yeah,
That's
he's
right.
just obviously really understands what he's doing. Good story, David. David traveled internationally in 2004 and was a referee for USA Taekwondo at the Collegiate World Championships, and so he traveled with us. And first time I got to know him, it's just a great guy. I just enjoyed every second. It was kind of his first time. I'd only done it a couple times, but sort of so early in our careers, just to spend some time together and just obviously an elite international referee as well.
Oh, yep. I think the hesitation did hurt her a little
Yeah,
bit.
it kind of looks like it did, but this is very close. And,
It is still close. It's still very much anyone's game. Yep.
You thought it might hurt. It looks like it really did.
both male and female. So, male and female cheetah.
First up in round 3, James Hart.
Switch up.
So James Harp up next. We've seen 2 of his forms now. We're going to see he's going to start this round off here, so we'll get to see the form. That we don't, again, Coach Twong and I don't know the form that they're going to do until they come out. So we're here in the broadcast booth, kind of hidden back here.
Yeah, he's looking a little more solid. I think these slow moves are really helping him stay a little more grounded. So much stronger than his last performance.
Yeah, Coach, tell our audience what this form is and how you rank it.
Yeah, this is Jite. So I think that it's one of the forms that you only do as a 31-plus competitor.
Okay.
And yeah, I think it's, again, like Shipshin, it's got a lot of contrast between slow and fast. One of the challenging moves is it does have 2 side kicks that are both from the crane stance or in a one-legged position in succession. So that is one of the more challenging elements, particularly for older competitors. That's coming up right here. So we'll see how James handles this one. Good.
You always that left leg, a little balance issue, maybe a little wobbly there, but it's the left leg, and
Right.
that seems to happen at times.
No, yeah, for sure. I think he handled that well. He was patient with the transition. No major mistakes there. And I think this is a much better performance than his last one. So he's doing really well to recover from that.
So up next is going to be our current team member, if I'm not mistaken, and also the leader in Chi Duong. So we'll get to see a little bit of different contrast. We'll see how he handles, like you talked about, those crane stance side kicks. Obviously, Mr. Harp handled them well. We'll see how our reigning winner here from last time.
Right.
He
So
went to Worlds, so
he's actually not the current national team member because he didn't compete last year. Last year was Chauncey Reed.
So would you say he competes on the year that they go to World Championships? That's sort of his mentality?
No, I think that he just took a year off for whatever reason. Haven't had a chance to chat with him about why. But he generally does compete every year, but maybe perhaps now he is focusing on those.
Up next,
World
Chi
Series.
Duong.
Switch up.
So our leader, after 2 rounds, Chi Duong coming to the mat. Jite is the form he's going to be doing, so Poomsae Jite for Chi Duong.
So you'll see these first, a lot of slow focus moves in the first 2 sections of the form. So here you see the high block and punch. Each should be 4 seconds, 4 plus 4. If they miss that timing, they get a deduction. Elbow's got to stay tight to the body on that punch.
Sure, when you say
Come
4
back.
plus 4, explain that in a little more detail. Maybe
Yeah,
we
so-
have some
Yeah,
newer
absolutely.
people.
The high block needs to be 4 seconds, and the punch needs to be 4 seconds.
Gotcha.
And here we're going to have a slow outer middle block, and that's got to be 8 seconds. And if they go less than 7 or more than 9, they also receive a deduction. But I think everyone's going to be pretty on point here. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000, 6, 1,000, 7. Yeah, he's in good shape. That front kick really nice. Really nice height. Yeah, might be playing a little safe on those side kicks today.
Yeah, so far he hadn't had to really shoot him high, and because he's been in the lead. But I will tell you, you talked about it. His balance and execution is just exceptional.
Yeah, I think he's really a character. I've seen his pictures on Facebook. He has an obstacle course in his backyard where he practices stepping from like post to post on a balance. You know, for someone of his age, that's pretty, that's pretty exceptional, like a ninja warrior, of course. So he does a lot of unconventional things to stay fit in creative ways.
So up next, we're going to have Chauncey Reed. I beg your pardon, Ken Thorpe is up next. And so we will get to see Mr. Thorpe coming up momentarily.
next, Ken Thorpe.
출전! 차례! 경기! 준비! 시작!
It's good accuracy there. Nice choosing a slightly faster tempo there. Oh, little step there. Could be a deduction for that stumble. He's gotten pretty off axis here too, so he's got to work a little to fit his mark.
Yeah, so he's a little bit, in our case, looking at the screen, he's a little bit to our left. Is that correct?
Correct. But if he comes back to within 1 foot of where he started, it looks like he tried to get a little extra step there to get back. Looks like he did get within 1 foot. So
Yeah,
I think he's in
well
good shape.
done. I thought his right leg side kick from the crane position was really executed well.
Yeah, no, he's a good athlete, that's for sure. That's a difficult one to do.
So Mitchell Dillard on deck. We'll follow Mitchell Dillard with Chauncey Reed, and we'll finish out the round with Jong Hee-pak.
Up next, Mitchell Dillard.
출전! 차례! 경기! 준비! 시작!
Nice little heel lift on that turn, heel pivot on the 180 turn. Those would be minor deductions. Oh, he missed a move there. That's going to be a major. And he's starting over, so it looks like he will start over, take 2 major deductions, and keep his deductions from before, but he will be able to finish his form.
So quick question, Coach. In this case, is it benefit him to try to get himself back into the form, even though he's had some major deductions, or is it more beneficial just to stop and restart?
No, it's definitely better to keep going under any circumstances. But, you know, it's tough. You know, like if anyone who's been a musician, sometimes you get to the middle of a piece and you're like, oh, the only way to finish it out is to start over again, because that's how your brain remembers it. So, but it's unquestionably better to finish if you can. So, but I have confidence he'll pull through here and be able to put together a solid performance.
Yeah, and I find it interesting. Most of these competitors, this might be a little more of a challenging venue. And what I mean by that is just the atmosphere. This is a very intimate, and it's something we noticed with the sparring competitors over the last few Grand Slams. And now it's just a lot of pressure. The spectators sitting right on top of you. They know they're being live streamed out to the world, you know, so they've got family and friends watching. It's just lots of lights and lots of things. And so it's something I feel like maybe these guys, you might feel the pressure a little more than you would per se at a national championship when there's 20 rings and you're one of 20.
Correct. Yeah, it's a very different environment than Nationals or U.S. Open. You know, I think Poomsae, you know, with sparring you have an opponent, you always have that kind of that first contact to snap you out of it. Poomsae, it's just you alone with your thoughts, so you can really talk yourself into some tough situations. But he did finish that form great, so that's nice to see that.
Yeah. Good comeback.
Mr. Dillard. GT is one of the forms you cannot finish on your mark because it does finish behind.
Interesting.
So, although I think some of these competitors are hitting their mark, that's also allowed.
So Chauncey Reed up next, followed by Master Pak, that's in second place currently.
Right. So it'll be interesting to see if Esther Pak can make up ground on Chi, but I don't see any major mistakes Chi Duong made, so I think he's still sitting with that 1-point lead pretty strong.
Seems comfortable in that position right now in the number 1 spot. On the other side here, Chauncey Reed, a big struggle in round 2. I beg your pardon, round 1 has come back. It's round 2 and moved himself up the leaderboard just slightly. Let's see if he can do it here again and move himself even higher.
Yeah, he's a good competitor for sure, and so although that first mistake probably did take him out of contention for first, he'll have a good shot at perhaps third or maybe higher. Heel lift on that turn. Sure. A lot of pre-pivoting, so footwork maybe not as clean as some of the first and second place competitors.
He's just under 4. If I'm counting 4 seconds, that's going to be close. I was counting with him just to kind of see it, and it just seemed like he was just under 4 seconds. It seemed a little quicker than the other competitors at this point. Now, it probably may not come back to haunt him. I just noticed that. This is a little slower. Here's better.
Right. That's a 8-second technique.
Okay.
So that should be. So yeah, I mean, it depends on the referees and how closely they're watching.
Right.
That. Sometimes they're real strict on it, and others are not. So I didn't see anything too out of the ordinary.
Yeah,
there.
not alarming by any means.
So you'll notice he goes past his starting point, and that's okay for Jite. It's one of those forms where you are allowed to be 1 step behind the starting position because of the geometry of the form. In Kumgang, you're allowed to be 1 step in front of your starting point. But all the other forms, you need to hit your mark.
Up next, Jang Hee Pak.
So we're going to round out round number 3 here in the 66 plus male individual division here with Jang Hee Pak, and he's currently sitting in 2nd place, trying to overtake Chi Duong here after this round. Again, Coach, you talked about nothing you could see that would lower his score by any means with Mr. Duong. So let's see if he can come out and do something spectacular is what it's going to take to overtake.
Yeah, I think so. Yep. Unless there's that one last form, room for error in that last form, but
yes,
it's unlikely that he may outpoint him here. He's looking really strong here, and I think he's actually relaxed a little bit from his earlier rounds, so his power is improving. Oh, that's nice rhythm there. That's something that you don't often see at this age division.
Sure.
So that contrast between slow and fast. So that is part of presentation that may help elevate his score. So presentation is 3 categories. It's strength and speed and power, and it's rhythm and tempo, and power from transitions. It's a different kind of power. And the last one is expression of ki. So that's lines of sight, understanding of purpose of movement, and of course ki up. So, oh, this is looking really good.
Yeah, this is close. I mean, he's looking really sharp this round.
I wouldn't be surprised if he outpointed Chi, but I don't think he's going to be able to make up that 1.0. But
right.
That was a very strong performance. Very, very nice. He really brought it. So I think he's taking a big shot. He knows he has to do something to catch up. So he changed his tempo, deliberately chose something that would look different than Chi. And that's part of the strategy of being a competitor. You know, if you're competing against someone who's smooth and relaxed, you know, then you might choose a more aggressive tempo and vice versa.
So this is the end of round 3.
Scores.
So we're going to take a quick timeout. We're going to come back with our Poomsae national team head coach, Dan Chuang. I'm Jason Poos. You're chopping it up with Jason and Dan. We love it. We love it. And we appreciate you. You bet. You can take his place anytime you want.
Well, I don't know how he feels about that.
This is USA Taekwondo's Poomsae Grand Slam final from the National Center of Excellence here in Colorado Springs.
Wow. Okay, so he's still holding the lead. Very
Okay,
impressive.
he does have the lead, but it looks like it shrunk.
Oh no, this is just the one form score.
Okay,
So
so-
he has an additional point
here
3
we
above.
go,
So
here we go.
He's
Look
in.
at this.
Yeah, it will be almost impossible. So it looks like he's got a lock on it, barring falling over.
So
or
he's
something
extended
very
his
far.
lead a little bit
He
here.
did.
So
I'm a little surprised that that it wasn't closer, but
and you talked about Jang Hee Pak having a good chance to beat, but it looks like he's got a pretty sizable lead over Ken Thorpe and
That's
Mitchell
right.
Dillard. So big difference here in those. So again, quick timeout. You saw the scores. We saw them with you. You see them at the same time we do. Nothing here comes up before. So we'll come back with round number 4, the final round of the men's over 66 category. But we also don't forget we've got the females 66 plus coming up as well. Stay with us. I'm Jason Poos. This is the National Center of Excellence, and this is a Poomsae Grand Slam final.
Up first in round 3 for the women, Erica Lindhorst.
So Erica Lindhorst a little bit behind here. She's in second place behind Tweety Wynn.
by about
coming out.
0.3. Yep.
Yeah, so this is a battle you talked about. It's a battle you were looking forward to, and it's kind of shaping up exactly what you thought. It's going to come down to maybe this form or round 4.
Yeah, that looks good. So yeah, if she can pull out a narrow win or a solid win on this form, then she'll be right back in it. Very nice. That's really solid. Oh, little tip there. Oh, really nice balance on that recovery after that front kick. I love how still the rest of her body is during these techniques, during these slow moves. Very nice core engagement there. She's looking good. See how she handles the side kicks.
Yeah, the crane side kick's coming up here momentarily, right?
Yep, crane stance side kicks, that's right. Oh, it's a little low. So she may take a major deduction on the first
I
side
hadn't
kick.
seen any of her kicks be that low to this point, so I'm a little surprised. Is that a balance issue or just
I believe so, yeah.
it's just got a little bit out off over her leg, maybe get a little bit out over your body type. What's going to happen? You're going to not be able to lift the knee high enough to kick at the level you want to.
Right.
So the door's a little bit open here for Tweety Wynn.
That's right. That's right. But pressure is part of it, so we'll see how Tweety handles the pressure. She can see it, that she's in a good position. See if she can hold her focus. Like I said, Poomsae, you're alone with your thoughts, right? So if part of that being battle tested is learning how to hold your composure.
Up next, Tweety Wynn.
nice volume there. She's really turning her body a lot, showing good upper body flexibility.
You talked about the little bit of bobble there at the beginning of Erica's form on this part right here.
That's right.
Tweety Wynn did not have that.
Maybe a little bit
There.
not as clean here on these finishes. She has a little bounce on her finishes that I wasn't seeing earlier from her.
Right there.
Yeah, that should not have that bounce transition. But overall, I do think she's looking solid. Perhaps not as grounded as Erica was, but again, that side kick and that bobble from Erica will hurt her.
Wynn with the crane stand side kick. Executes it properly.
Yep, no majors there.
This is close.
It's going to be close. I mean, Tweety had some errors in terms of the small things, but I think she did the big things well. I think Erica did the small things well, but then had those majors. So again, this comes down to whether or not the referees are going to hammer on those minors or not, those minor deductions.
So we'll get to see round 3 scores here for the females, and then we'll come back with round 4, the final round in the 66 and over, or plus 66 age division of the males.
So we'll see what the score is. If Tweety finishes out in front again, then it'll be pretty challenging for her for Erica to come off that lead. And I suspect that the results will show that she's still in first place on this form again. This has not been a super detail-oriented judging, in my opinion. It's been a little more presentation focused. Yep, she's on top. I don't know if we can show that score.
Yeah, we'll see it.
You see it, yep.
So she'll win that round as well. So 3 rounds in a row for Tweety Wynn. So
Yep.
there's going to need to be a major change here. She's kind of stretched her lead a little bit now.
She's 0.55 in the lead. It's not insurmountable. It's not like she can just cakewalk through it, but she's in definitely a heavy favorite for that final.
Yeah, heavy favorite to upset a former world champion. So
That's
this could be a big upset here at the Poomsae Grand Slam final with a spot in the World Championships team there in Herning, Denmark. Do you know anything about Herning, Denmark, Coach?
The first time I heard of it, I'm gonna confess, is when I saw that it was being held there. I know that it is, it's a second flight away from Copenhagen. So
Well, we did. We had World Championships in Copenhagen, Denmark, for the sparring team several years ago, and it's a nice city. It's a really nice place. So I enjoyed it. So we're waiting for round 4, the final round in the men's over 66 category here at the Poomsae Grand Slam final. We're going to take a short timeout, come back with our Poomsae national team coach, Dan Chuang. This is the Poomsae Grand Slam final presented by USA Taekwondo.
First up in round 4 for the men, Mitchell Dillard.
So final round here, Coach. Mitchell Dillard, not in that top 2. So it's really, if you're not in that top 2, you're a couple points behind. So they're probably fighting out for 3rd place at this point.
Yep. And but still, I think the experience of being here at the round robin format, the experience of going through multiple forms under pressure, and competing here at the Center for Excellence, I think it's really valuable for all of them.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, and it's something that we found from our sparring athletes as well, was just to feel like this environment, the feel of it. It was pressure packed for them, and what the ones that have a ton of international experience said, hey, it reminded them of a Grand Prix final or Grand Prix.
Right.
And that's exactly what we're trying to do. We're trying to mimic the environment of the most elite tournaments so that when we get to those tournaments, it just feels old hat.
Right, right. The more experience they can get in these pressure situations, the better. So I think it's a great thing.
Well, they're finishing with one of the tougher forms in Pyeongwang here.
That's right.
So Pyeongwang's going to finish up the form. And it's a short one as he finishes there. Tough form.
Might have finished a little ahead of his mark there. This might be a deduction for that. But solid. No hops. So there's a difference between losing your balance a little bit and actually hopping where your foot leaves the ground, or you have to take an extra step. So you do take that extra step. It's a major deduction. So Pyeongwang is probably the form that competitors have the most fear of having that extra hop on.
Sure, that makes sense. You're on one leg a lot in this form.
Up next, James Hart.
Like I said, James was on the 2017 Pan Am Championships team. A pleasure to travel with. A lot of great camaraderie on that team. We all got to know each other really well in Portland, Oregon.
Yeah, it was a great tournament there in Portland, Oregon. I remember it pretty well as we were there for other competition as well. So
The sparring championships. yeah.
sure, yeah. And again, the Pan Am Championships last year. So maybe they're not ready for him?
I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe they have a scoring system issue.
Yeah, they stopped him. It's not on him. It's definitely, I can got a view of the referees, and they stopped him, and they don't want him to go yet. So no deductions for Mr. Harp at that point.
Being very deliberate with his stepping. He's really a lot of accuracy issues here. Again, perhaps some physical limitations
Yeah,
here.
it looks like there might be some.
But very, very composed, taking
Great
his
front
time.
kick.
Yep, very nice front kick, and a really good job in straightening his bottom leg on the side kick. One of the hardest things to do.
Yeah, kind of looks like his kicks seem pretty solid.
Yep.
Arm motions, but that's nice right there.
Yep. Good, strong finish. But he will take a lot of hits on accuracy for his hand techniques.
Yeah, hand technique seems to struggle a bit. You might be right, some physical limitations there for Mr. Harp, but overall an excellent competition for Mr. Harp, and congratulations. He's finished with his fourth round, so congratulations. Making it here to the Poomsae Grand Slam, and of course, executing at a high level.
Yeah, for sure.
Up next, Ken Thorpe.
Very nice.
Again, congratulations, Ken Thorpe. Great competition here for him today as well. So our leader up next in Chi Duong coming to the mat.
got his game face on. He knows what's he can see that it's close, but he also knows not to take it for granted.
Up next, Chi Duong.
So holding on to a slim lead, Chi Duong. I say slim, probably not that slim.
Not a slim lead, yeah. I think, but maybe never to be taken for granted.
Sure.
Agreed. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, those transitions just seem smooth to me. You know, again, from the layperson's eyes, you know, he just looks like he knows he's in full control of his body here.
He really is. Yeah. Again, I know he can kick a little higher than that, but I think he's also perhaps being a little conservative.
Well, if he wins here today, maybe he's saving it for Denmark.
Could be, could be. Very nice. That's really strong.
Yeah, tough to beat today.
major
Chi
mistakes,
Duong
yeah.
really on his game.
I think that should seal it for him.
Yeah, really on his game today, so looks really sharp. Well done. Excellent execution and performance from Chi Duong in round number 4.
Up next, Chauncey Reed.
Okay, Chauncey Reed up next again. Chauncey at 67 years of age. Like you talked about, Chauncey Reed was the national team member from the year before.
That's correct, 2019.
So, yeah, so he's coming off what I would consider a great year in 2019. You make on a national team. Did a national team compete in the World Championships or the Pan Am Championships?
Last year, our senior national team competed at President's Cup, and actually he had hit a travel issue and actually didn't make it to that event. But again, winning nationals and beating out his other players to make that spot was a good result. So he's showing good deliberation here, good intention. Perhaps not quite as clean, shoulders a little bit up, so a little more tension than maybe what we saw from Chi. But really nice patience there to hold his balance on that last kick. That's the hardest kick in the form. So
his comeback strong. He really has. He's really had a little early stumble early in round 1, but since then has really come on strong and finished with a solid performance. So congratulations, Chauncey Reed, on a solid performance here today.
And that's one of the best things to do is come back and after a mistake like that and put in those solid performances and leave feeling good about what you did out there. So I think he can hold his head high for sure.
Absolutely. So last but not least here, and interesting enough, it's going to be Jang Hee Pak, and he's going to have to do something spectacular, as you talked about, in order to overtake Chi Duong for this national team spot for the World Championships on the line.
Right. And I really don't see a path forward
Jang Hee Pak.
for him to take that first place position, but what he can do is maybe steal one win and come out with some good momentum for the next time they face off. So it's definitely a good goal for him. That's great presence. Oh, dropped his hand a little on that front kick. Taking that transition very careful. Very strong finish, though, on each of his moves. And he's definitely playing with that rhythm in a way that you mostly see from younger competitors. Oh, looks like he's going to miss his mark, though. Yep, So definitely missed his mark, but very solid performance overall. And really put the pressure on, put the heat on Chi this time to really perform. Couldn't walk into it, that's for sure.
So that's the end of round number 4. So right now we'll have some scores, and what we're going to do is we're going to have a champion here today in the men's plus 66 kilogram. I beg your pardon, plus 66 and over Poomsae Grand Slam final. So we're going to get our winner. Obviously we're going to get an interview with them, but we're going to interview both the male and the female. Looks like maybe separately or together. We're going to find that out. Depends on if the females want to go ahead and compete. We're going to kind of leave it up to the competitors here if they want to go or if they want to wait. They've been sitting back there for a little bit of time if they wait for 6 competitors at a time. So we're going to take a quick timeout, come back with the rest of this last final. The men's have finished. We'll have a champion here momentarily, but we still have one more round in the plus 66 female category. So we'll be back with the Poomsae Grand Slam final. And here's your score. Let's stay because we got some scores here, Coach. Let's stay here. So let's bring Coach back in for a sec.
Right, hey, our new national team member for 66 plus, Chi Duong, making his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th, 6th national team.
6th national team, and a dominating performance by looking at those scores. That's impressive.
5th, but still very, very impressive. Yeah, that's fantastic to see that. And yeah, it's great to see that we have 6 players in that 66 plus division. It shows the strength of our older competitors, and that Taekwondo at this level is not just for those in their 20s and 30s.
Right, you can compete for a high level for a very long time in this sport, and that's something that these guys are showing. So it's impressive by their side. And Chi Duong, just a dominating performance today. So congratulations to him.
4 first places. Yep, very impressive.
Yeah, just won every round. So that's dominating. Yeah, very impressive. Yeah, we're going to stay here and bring out the women as they've been waiting a while. So we're going to bring out Tweety Nguyen. This is round number 4. If Tweety Nguyen wins this round, or even probably just does enough here, she's going to win this championship. And what we call an upset here is Erica Lindhorst, a former world champion now, may be taken out by Tweety Nguyen here from Texas.
So it's a 0.3 deficit for Erica to make up to overtake Tweety. Or 0.5, I believe. 0.5 deficit.
Yeah, I think it was 0.5 and Kum Gong here, so
Kum
no
Gong.
kicking.
So Kum Gong is the great difference maker. So you can
Lot of
easily
balance.
you can lose 0.5 pretty quick on Kum Gong if you're not careful. So we'll see. This is going to be a battle of composure, but she's looking strong here. No bobbles on those first crane stances. It's really all about the crane stances in this form.
Yeah, tough one here, standing on the left leg.
She had a double touch there. That's a deduction.
Yeah, that's a tough one, because they're standing on their left leg. And again, here we go.
She's taking these nice and slow. She knows that she's in a winning position here, so she can afford to be a little more careful, take some small deductions to avoid major ones. So you'll see that you're supposed to have a single pivot to get into the crane stance here.
This was tough coming up.
But she's taking a double pivot, but that's okay. That's another step. Again, she'll get some deductions there. Depending on how strict the judges are, those could be major deductions. But yeah, it's interesting. I don't know how the judges will interpret that performance. I think for this age group, that is a very solid performance. But there is a door open here for Erica to come in and really nail this Kum Gong. If she hits all the transitions very smoothly, she may have the opportunity to make up some ground.
Yeah, could maybe come out of nowhere here. Been down every round, but comes back and wins this with really executed, beg your pardon, Kum Gong here in round number 4.
And Kum Gong is the second most feared form, or I think behind Pyongyang. So it's really fitting somehow that this is the final form in this matchup. And Erica, we'll see how Erica's experience holds here. If she can really, like she did at World Championships, make a come-from-behind performance. Tweety had 2 touches on 2 of her turns. Those should be major deductions if the judges are being strict. So that's 0.6 that she could potentially make up if the judges were strict with those
Next
touches.
up, Erica Lindhorst.
So Coach David Turgeon sitting in the chair for round 4 here with Erica Lindhorst. Final form, round number 4. winner take all, if you will, for a spot on our national team to head to Denmark for the World Championships.
That's right. I really appreciate Erica's understanding of Poomsae and the way her body moves. So she's hopping some wiggles, but no hops, so that's our minor deductions.
Okay.
See if she can settle in, really stay grounded. She's taking also that safe two-step pivot. That's looking really good.
Yeah, very clean, very smooth there by Erica.
Also looking really solid on that transition. She may have a shot here. Oh,
that's probably going to end it.
Yeah, so that's a major deduction. We'll see. She's got one more pivot left. It may be a little bit of a crapshoot here. So
yeah, we've got some drama here. Is it enough, Coach? And as you see this last,
yeah, Tweety had two double steps and she had one step out. But then Erica also had those the wobbles on the first crane stance. So this is really going to come down to referee interpretation of these forms and also how the presentation plays into it. Erica perhaps a little less powerful, but more relaxed whole body movement. Tweety finishing a little sharper, but maybe her whole body movement not as nice as Erica's. So, but if I had to bet, I would say that Tweety probably will finish on top with this one. It was a great battle, really great battle between two great athletes, two world-class athletes, both competed at the world level. So
no question at all. So we're going to see the winner of this one come up. So we've got Chi Duong. He's already moved himself to the finals. I mean, to the national team. I beg your pardon. Here we're going to find out is it Erica Lindhorst? Is it Tweety Nguyen? Don't go anywhere, folks. This is riveting entertainment here at USA Taekwondo as we're trying to find out, was there enough? Did Erica Lindhorst do enough to overtake it? She does not.
Yep.
Tweety Nguyen is our national team member and our champion. She's celebrating with her coach. I'm going to take a quick timeout because I want to get an interview with our winners here in the plus 66 age division. So stay with us. This is the Poomsae Grand Slam final here in Colorado Springs at the National Center of Excellence. We're here live, the Poomsae Grand Slam final, and we're here with our competitors, but we have our national team winners here in their spot in the World Championship, Chi Duong and Tweety Nguyen. So congratulations to you both on winning your spot here today. Ms. Nguyen, we're going to start with you. An upset here as Erica Lindhorst, world champion before. You come in and maybe a mild upset here. Talk about how you were able to do this here today.
Yes, sir. I worked really hard for this one. I mean, like, even more. I put this more than my job that I work. Anyway, I've been referee, and then I put my referee on the side. I try to compete, and I compete last 5 years. I tried really, really hard, so today I get the result.
Yeah, there's no question. You put your job on the line. She said, I'm done with refereeing for a little while. Work, I'll just put that aside. I'm going to go make a national team, and you did that here today. I was told you're a multiple-time national team member. So is this 4, 5, 6? Tell us how many this is for you.
I think this one is the 6th time I'm in a national team, and hopefully I'm going to represent USA in Denmark, and hopefully I bring home the medal like I usually be.
Like he usually does. He's a 3-time silver medalist at the World Championships, so we know you're going for gold. So you've done it before. Tweety, come closer for me just a little bit. So how's it going to feel to represent USA in Denmark on our national team competing for your country?
I will do my best. Like I said, I put this more than my job and anything else. I didn't even see my family, so I mean like, so anyway, this is my dream come true. So thank you God for that. Thank you everybody for helping. So I'm here today.
Oh, you earned it. You were amazing today. So all of you athletes were amazing today here in our championship. I want to end it by saying it should sound really good. This is our national team members going to the World Championships in Herning, Denmark. This is Tweety Nguyen and Chi Duong.